Hey, digital nomads, let's dive into the world of business travels, exploring the nooks and crannies of expenses, deductions, and the responsible use of technology. Our topic for exploration today revolves around the maximization of deduction through a harmonious mix of per diems, real costs, and the ever-helpful artificial intelligence. First up, we delve into the classic controversy surrounding per diems and the intricacies that underpin it. Per diem, also referred to as the daily allowance, is a predetermined amount established by the IRS to cater for meals and other incidentals that accrue during a business trip. However, it's important to note that these rates cater only for reasonable and necessary costs. Lavish and extravagant expenses aren't deductible. If your actual costs exceed the per diem rates, the difference could potentially be deducted, provided you can adequately substantiate your expenses. Now that we comprehend the constraints and allowances tied to the per diem, we journey into the relevance of accurate and detailed records. Yes, meticulous records are the bedrock of every taxable expense. These records should encompass receipts, invoices, and a clear business purpose description for each expenditure. Besides, the use of AI has made light work of the usual paperwork burden associated with these records. With this technology, the once laborious task of keeping detailed records for every business expenditure has morphed into a manageable process. As the journey continues, let's explore the arithmetic associated with deductible expenses. Buckle up, folks. To calculate your deductions accurately, two methods, either the per diem method or actual expenses method, can be adopted. Whichever method you opt for, you must approach it with precision and attention. If the per diem method is your chosen path, simply multiply the daily rate by the number of business trip days. However, if your preference is with the actual expenses method, you will sum all your related expenses and subtract any reimbursement received. At this juncture, we pose extreme business travel scenarios to better understand the implications of these expense calculation methods. Imagine you undertake a 3-day business trip to a high-cost city. According to the IRS's prescribed per diem rates for that location, you could potentially deduct an amount as large as $957 for your trip's duration. Let's say, however, your actual expenses exceeded this amount, and you spent, tellingly, $1,200. A swift recap of the earlier calculation method would reveal a potential deduction of $957 through the per diem approach. However, the actual spend of $1,200 allows for the deduction of the difference of $243, subject to proper documentation and substantiation. As we gradually round up the business voyage and head into the final phase, a stern reminder is worth underscoring. Business travel expenses that fall within the boundaries of the law can form a significant part of tax deductions, providing a helpful means to reduce your tax bill. However, this should never be taken as an open invitation to exploit the system. Always remember, every deduction you claim must have a legitimate and necessary basis and must be adequately supported by appropriate records. Do well to also leverage technology's immense advantages in simplifying the process, but always maintain due diligence with your records. Also, for unique business situations and questionably allowable expenses, seek advice from a tax professional to avoid possible complications down the line. As the curtains fall on today's business voyage, remember that a proper understanding and use of per diems, actual costs, and AI can create an efficient, organized, and profitable business trip experience, thereby reducing the tax obligations that derive from such travels. Achieving adequate and efficient tax deductions, thus, provides an unobtrusive but effective method of reducing taxation burdens linked to frequent business trips, pushing these trips from financial responsibility to fiscal opportunity. Your records and the use of AI in sorting them can be an especially powerful tool in your tax-saving arsenal. Precise records afford the opportunity to separate admissible expenses from the non-admissible within the considerable complexity these business trips often present. As a finale, here's a tip for the road. Always stay informed. The government periodically adjusts these rates, and being aware of the changes can save you a lot of trouble, both now and during tax season. Do not forget the dictum: endowed with the right knowledge and tools, a business trip is not merely a productivity maximizing function. It can be an adventure ripe with opportunities to minimize your tax obligations and reduce cost drain. Harnessing the combined efficiency of proper accounting and organizational skills along with the use of sophisticated technologies such as AI, you can streamline this tax alleviation process while also making business travel expenses part of your profitable strategy. Additionally, the use of AI can simplify not only the process of organizing your records but also the process of identifying potential deductions. Data analysts and machines can help you locate patterns in your spending that could lead to increased savings on your tax bill. And as your strategic approach to taxation evolves with your business trips, do not forget to be honest and transparent in your claims, and remember that every tax deduction should not only contribute to your business growth but also pass the scrutiny of an IRS audit. Remember, there's always a balance between utilizing the benefits offered by the law and attempting to exploit the system. Rest assured, staying within the right side of this balance can lead your business on a path of continuous growth and success. Are you ready to switch gears? Let's explore a pivot to the more practical side of this exploration. Data management and accountability. Without a doubt, the proper organization is identifying and gathering records attached to each travel expense, a critical exercise we must not take lightly. Today's digital world affords you the opportunity to manage these records using various platforms and applications. Ensure you make good use of this advantage. From financial software to cloud storage solutions, several tools can help you keep your records and manage your data efficiently. As you engage these tools, remember that the golden thumb rule is to capture every expense. Even the seemingly insignificant costs, such as taxis or small meals, can ultimately make a significant impact on your overall deductible expenses. On the other hand, the use of AI can further enhance the process of expense tracking and appear to a sound and reliable method of validating your records appropriately. Machines can quickly scan large volumes of data, identify trends, and even alert you to any specific expenses that might have favorable tax treatment. Let's take off that organizational hat and put on the advisement one. In cases where potential gray areas arise, or business scenarios are intricate, it might be beneficial to seek customized advice from professionals. Such procedures could, in essence, save you more significant portions of unneeded expenses. As we conclude today's session, the recurring theme worth emphasizing is the duality of coin possession. Maximizing deductions through business travel expenses is all about a balanced approach. Never lose sight of legal fairness, and remember that every dollar saved contributes to your success and growth. As you continue on your journey of deciphering business travel expenses, keep in mind to imbibe a culture of financial discipline. Tracking your expenses regularly and accurately, developing efficient record-keeping methods, adopting the right tools, and seeking professional advice where necessary will take you further than you can imagine. With this wealth of insights gathered, your future business trips can seem less of a daunting responsibility and more of a calculated step towards increased returns. Mastering the tax laws, coupled with efficient AI-aided data analysis, could position you for phenomenal growth. It's time to voyage into the future. Although this wrap might seem like it's the end of the road, it's far from it. The exploration, the knowledge, and the wisdom garnered today are not wasted if not immediately applied. They're rather seeds planted in the fertile grounds of your mind, destined to sprout opportune innovation. Until we meet at the crossroads of another enlightening journey, bear in mind everything you've learnt today about business travel expenses, taxes, and the positive leverage you can gain through wise utilization of AI. Stay informed, stay innovative, and always see further than the horizon line.